going on, guys? It's Bjorn here again, Goosebumps Aussie fan, bringing you another video. Now, you've been very patient, and here it finally is, my review for Goosebumps 2 Haunted Halloween. It's about time. Now, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you would have seen my brief kind of review on the film, but now we are going to discuss in depth the positives and negatives about the film. Let's start with the positives, shall we? Slappy was amazing in this one, okay? Especially in the first, quarter of the film, the first, 30-40 minutes. He was exactly like Slappy is in the books. You know what I'm saying, guys? He was actually walking and stalking in this one. Oh my goodness! The scene where he's, walking around through the night, he's, fixing up, Sunny's science experiment, the Tesla Tower, and then he's walking down the hallway into Sarah's room, and then he's just, standing there, staring at her. That was so beautifully done, okay? It felt like I was watching a Night of the Living Dummy episode. It was amazing. He even put Tyler in the hospital, and that scene was so creepy. It was actually like Child's Play, but PG, you know what I mean? And it was just so amazingly done. I love the lighting, the setting, how Tyler's, standing at the top of the ladder, and he's, shaking, and he's like, hey, not funny, and Slappy's just what does it say on that top step? And he's like, it's not a step? Maybe you remember that the next time you step out of line with my sister. And then he just, pulls the screw out with his, powers, and then, he falls down, and he could have, actually killed himself, He could have broke his neck, okay? It looks like he must have fractured it or something, but that was, a classic Night of the Living Dummy moment right there. So to me, the creepy Slappy moments were definitely the highlights of the film. It really felt as though Rob Lieber had actually, read all the Night of the Living Dummy books before writing this script. Because there was just some beautiful moments, you know what I'm saying? It was just so incredibly done. Anything to do with Slappy in the movie was awesome. I seem to be doing that a lot in this video. Now, the other thing I really liked about the film, guys, now, at first, I didn't, because I felt like it was just lazy, but then after seeing it a few more times, I realized, no, it actually is quite different throughout, and it was heavily inspired by, was the score. Okay, I was thinking, man, there's no soundtrack for this movie like there was for the first one, because it's pretty much the same, but remixed. So I like that they stayed true to it. It felt like it belonged with the first film, because you got the same, music in there. It really felt like a sequel to the first Goosebumps movie, and I felt like the score really carried that. You know what I mean, guys? Even the opening, credit scene with the music was the same, but it was just slightly, remixed, and I thought they did a great job with that. I like the fact that it was, staying true to the first film by doing that. Now, that was pretty much all I liked about Goosebumps 2 Haunted Halloween, guys. The negatives, well, there's quite a few of them. Not enough Goosebumps monsters. Now, I understand, guys, that it is bringing Halloween decorations to life, but there was literally only 3 Goosebump monsters other than Slappy, on that display that came alive. Now, they could have done so much more with it, and that was not the Haunted Mask. Do not tell me that was the Haunted Mask 2 Old Man Mask, because it was not. It may have been, inspired to be that, but it was not the Old Man Mask, and even after reading the movie novel, it just says Goblin Mask, so I don't believe it is, guys, okay? It's just a generic goblin mask that fell into that, Goosebumps display box or whatever, okay, guys? When you're gonna use the Goosebumps brand name in the title, I expect to see more Goosebumps monsters. You can't just throw in a few little references here and there. Monster blood. The Scarecrow walks at midnight. No! Now, the other thing that I didn't like about the sequel, guys, is it felt so rushed, okay? And that's what happens when it goes into production in January, February, okay? And then they wrap filming 3 months later, and then we get the film the same year, October. Wow. The scenes felt so, short. This film felt like it was rushing to get from the start to the end so quickly. You know what I'm saying? Man, there was even footage in the trailer that wasn't in the movie!
Halloween is alive. I
know. It's my favorite holiday too.
So this made me not really care about the human cast in the film. You know what I mean? I didn't care for them. Because I didn't really know enough about them to care. You know what I'm saying, guys? We didn't know anything about their backstories, really. I mean, Sarah and that relationship with Tyler, that just felt so, flat. And, what was with the nightclub scene? How old is she? What? Like, I think she was showing her ID and the guy was, like, checking it, but it was like, man, no way. You know what I'm saying, guys? Like, she must have been, what, like 16, 17? And I'm thinking, no way. No freaking way. And it felt so out of place in this movie to have a nightclub scene. It's a freaking Goosebump movie! How do we go from having, like, beautifully shot, like, classic Night of the Living Dummy slappy moments to a nightclub scene in the same Goosebumps movie? Just the same movie, like, really? Please, R.L.Stine, can we simply have a Goosebumps movie where there's no, like, relationships? Okay, we don't need any, like, love relationship, you know, subplots in a Goosebumps movie. And I would really appreciate we have more actual Goosebumps monsters, if there is a Goosebumps 3. Also, the Nikola Tesla thing, totally unnecessary. Okay? He's got nothing to do with Goosebumps. Okay? They should have just had Slappy open up the Horrorland manuscript. That would have been a much better sequel. That's what it should have been about. Hopefully for Goosebumps 3. Yeah? Goosebumps 3 Horrorland? Maybe throw some monster blood in there. Cuddles the hamster. Curly the skeleton. So yeah, guys, I didn't really care so much for the characters. I mean, there was no real backstory on, like, how Sunny and Sam became such, like, close, like, good friends. Like, maybe they met sometime earlier in life, you know, in the 1st or 2nd grade. I don't know how it works, you know, these Hollywood films, but you know what I mean, guys? So I just didn't really care about it. There was no real backstory. I mean, at least in the first Goosebumps movie, it explains how Zach's dad passed away, you know, and he still hasn't really gotten over it, you know? There's backstory! This one did not have any, okay? It just felt so rushed, like, there's just nothing going on for me in this. Which now brings me to R.L.Stine, Jack Black. His appearance in the film was completely unnecessary. He did, like, barely anything to contribute to the story, other than be a cameo. A simple cameo. That's all it was, guys. He literally shows up at the end when the kids have already saved the day. Which is great, because, you know, in the books, the kids do save the day. So, I liked that. But he didn't need to be in there. Okay? Maybe that scene right at the end where he's, like, typing up his new book and then Slappy's there, sucks him in, because, you know, it sets up a third film. But he didn't actually need to be there for the plot of this sequel. Okay, because he doesn't contribute at all. Even that line that Sunny says to him towards the end of the film, "Why do you have a typewriter?" And he says, "Oh, I brought it thinking to save you guys, but it appears that you have found a way to save yourselves." I'm thinking, oh, sweet Jesus. Pointless. Didn't need to be there. He didn't do anything. Literally, it's just star power because it's Jack Black. Now, the final issue that I have with the sequel that a lot of other people actually picked up on. Thank you. When Haunted Halloween opens up, Slappy is following, like, the story of what's going on inside the manuscript. So, obviously, he wants to create a family of his own, you know, he wants a mama by bringing Halloween to life, you know, all that. He's following, like, his destiny, basically. In the first Goosebumps movie, they're not doing this! Wouldn't that mean that when the gnomes came out, they would have started destroying gardens? Wouldn't that mean that the executioner would have been trying to find Eddie and Sue? What the... What? Who else noticed this? In the first Goosebumps movie, the monsters are not following, like, their destinies as it's written in the manuscripts. That law is, like, out the window now, thanks to Goosebumps 2 Haunted Halloween, because Slappy was actually following the story of what was going on. Bringing Halloween alive. You know, he wants a mama, okay? He wants a family of his own. But in the first Goosebumps movie, the monsters are not doing this, okay? And don't give me that, oh, but Haunted Halloween, it's different, okay? It's not like the manuscripts in the first movie, okay? I call BS! It's still a manuscript, okay? That R.L.Stine has written, okay? I got news for you. Dr. Brewer was not trying to turn his family into plant copies, okay? He's going to have a pretty hard time trying to find Margaret, even though he wasn't in the first Goosebumps movie. But, okay, I'm just trying to get my point across with this. It is a plot hole. A major one. I didn't see no Carly Beth trying to find Chuck and Steve so she can scare them. But yeah, guys, there was just a lot of things wrong with this film, okay? But it was still enjoyable, though. Like, that's why I'm just like, I love you, but I hate you at the same time to the sequel, because it was fun. It was a roller coaster ride. You know what I mean? It was still enjoyable, especially for young kids. They're not going to notice any of this stuff, alright? They're going to have a blast. Okay, so I award the film Goosebumps 2 Haunted Halloween a 6.5 overall. And strangely enough, guys, after all the complaining I did about the gummy bear scene, I actually really enjoyed it. It was one of my favorite scenes in the whole film. It was fun. And yeah, look, I got one of the promotional plushies that they had at the screening of the movie. I can't believe I actually got this. And yes, it is official. There's licensing down at the bottom on his ass. But it's a little bit blurry. I mean, you can probably just make it out though. Goosebumps, you know, Scholastic movie. But yeah, guys, I got the promotional plushie. I love it. Mwah. I've actually got quite a few other Goosebumps 2 Haunted Halloween items that I will be doing in a future unboxing video. But I'm going away to Melbourne tomorrow. So yeah, guys, I won't be making a video for like another 5 days or so. But anyway, in the meantime, you can look forward to an unboxing of some Goosebumps 2 Haunted Halloween merchandise. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed my review, and I will see you again soon.